Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents The Ghost Assassin by Lisa Renee Jones. Narrated by Andrew B. Wehrlen and Madeleine Maby. Chapter 1. Cain. It was clearly a mistake to choose this location in Mexico that my father fondly called the graveyard, to face off with my uncle. This warehouse is where he came to turn conflict into conclusion, and conclusion is exactly what we have. Miguel is dead, and so is my intended placeholder, Laszlo. I killed Miguel. My dead father killed Laszlo. My dead father, who stands in front of me now alive and well, and while his thick, dark hair is more salt and pepper than it was when I last saw him, the lines framing his eyes a bit deeper, he's looking fit and trim, and healthier than ever. My father was never a man who let himself go, never a man who indulged in the drugs he himself sold to others. Apparently the past few years were not spent 6 feet under. He's a ghost come back to life, too much like me for my own good. I dislike that about both of us, to the point that I wonder if the smirk of satisfaction on his face isn't about just that. Him wanting me to become the man who killed my uncle and buried bodies. He might be angry over my intended placement of Laszlo as the face of the cartel, but he still believes he's won. He'll soon learn that, yes, I am the man he wanted me to be in too many ways. The man who willingly killed Miguel, but I will also not tolerate much from him. And I will kill him if he threatens what's mine. This isn't a happy family reunion. There is no hugging and joy to be found from Miles, certainly not from me. But on the other side of the coin, those who know how much I avoid all things my father and the cartel might think I'd be relieved at his return. Now, they would assume he can run his own damn cartel, but with him at the helm, there will be nothing but blood and bodies. "Now what, hijo?" he asks, his weapon still in his hand, but then so is mine. Hijo, meaning son, as if he has to drive home that point. But I am no son of his, in any way but blood and looks. I could kill you, and no one would know any different, I say. He chuckles, low and deep. Now you sound like my son. He points to the men to my right, and then carries that finger around the room with a command. Leave us. A few of the men obey. The rest hold positions on either side of me. Enrique, loyal soldier that he is, of course, one of those men. In response to this division of men, my father's eyes light with something I can only call conquest. They didn't all line up with you, son. That's a problem. That's every problem you own right now. You should already own them by now. Not one of them should be loyal to me. He's every problem for me right now, and most of my life, even when he was supposed to be dead. They're not loyal to you, I say. They're afraid of you. Why aren't they afraid of you? I ignore him and focus on the men. I lift a hand. Déjanos. I order the masses in Spanish, which means leave us. And then in English. All of you. Every last one of the men obeys my command, but Enrique, who hesitates, but not out of disobedience. Cain? He asks. I give him a nod, and while his jaw clenches with obvious disapproval, he does as I've commanded. As soon as I'm alone with my father, I step closer to him. The lambs never run to the wolf. Those who are afraid of me for the wrong reasons went to you, and then ran away when given the opportunity. His lips quirk. You do not disappoint, hijo. I almost think I can disappear again and let you run the show. Almost. But then you try to give it all away. A front man would have sheltered me. A front man I could have controlled. That wasn't your brother. My brother took control when you did not. His expression is pure contempt. As for shelter, isn't that why you have a bitch with a badge? If he's trying to die, he's on the right path. Careful what you say next, I warn, or I might not give you the chance to retire properly. That woman with the badge is my wife. Another mistake. She's dangerous. In all the right ways, I say. She's also off limits. You touch her, or order anyone else to touch her. If she doesn't kill you and them in the process, I promise you, I will bleed you out while you beg to die. I motioned to Miguel. He found out the dead way. Did he now? Yes, he did. Does she know you disposed of the only man I'd ever let stand for me outside of you? Is he really who you wanted running your operation? No. I wanted you, son. You didn't step up. But as for Lilah, I'll concede that in the moment, she's useful. Her father will be governor. I'll own him. I'll own him. He laughs. Fair enough. Either way, owning him is what comes next. He's not wrong, but my reasons for wanting to own Lilah's father are about protecting her and destroying the society. Reasons my father will not accept as readily as he will other versions of the truth. Why do you think I needed a figurehead? Miguel acted a fool. He was going to destroy us all. He studies me with intense, dark eyes. Perhaps I underestimated you. Just because it's not your way, Father, does not make it the wrong way. He holds his hands to his sides. I'm your figurehead. You don't have it in you to be a figurehead. You don't have it in you to do what is necessary to run this cartel, which is why you needed your uncle. Now you have me. And don't you worry about the society. Me and Poacher are like this. He crosses two fingers together. What does that mean? Don't you worry, hijo. Daddy is here to save the day. He holsters his weapon and says, Let's go sit for a meal. It's only appropriate I'm back from the dead. We need to decide what that means for you, me, and your lovely wife, Lilah.
Chapter 2. Lilah. I'm as comfortable with death as I am my usage of the word fuck. In fact, me and death have an affinity for one another, and a whole lot in common. We both get along better with the dead than we do the living. We both scare people. We do a lot of showing up without an invitation, and neither of us is forgiving. I stare down at Murphy's dead, lifeless body, a clean, professionally placed bullet hole right between his eyes, and digest what has happened with a cold spot inside me. Emotion is a lot like dark chocolate. It exists, and some say it's good for you. I say it's a bitter, messy, poor excuse of an answer to anything. If I'd let emotion rule me, Murphy would have been dead days ago when I found out he was following my mother the day she died. If I discover Murphy killed my mother, I will forever mourn the fact that someone else beat me to killing him. So, do I care that Murphy is dead? Yes, it's inconvenient. Do I care who killed Murphy and why? Yes, of course I care. Because this asshole killed him before he could tell me the truth to replace his mountain of lies. I'm also concerned that the assassin closest to me, via Kane, and therefore closest to my boss, is Ghost. A single bullet between the eyes is one of his specialties, but it's a common assassination technique as well. He might not be our guy, but he's in the forefront of my mind. A short man in a suit steps out of one of the adjoining rooms. Agent Love Mendez, you're too close to this case. We're going to have to ask you to remove yourself from the investigation. Who the fuck are you? Special Agent in Charge, Larry Allen. This is my case. I don't know him, which in and of itself is strange, since I know everyone in this city working for the Bureau. But I don't want to know him either, so that works for me. He was likely brought in from a nearby region to lead an impartial investigation, as if those really exist. You're not in charge, I say. Yes, I am, he bristles, his cheeks puffing out. I'm in charge. If he was certain he was in charge, he wouldn't need to argue the point. It would simply be true. He'd know it. I'd know it. Neither of us knows it right now. Of your house, I say. Maybe. I eye the ring on his finger. Big, big maybe. But either way, I'm not saying I'm in charge. I'm saying you are not. This is not your case, good old Larry insists. You need to evacuate the premises. Obviously, someone forgot to tell him Homeland Security escorted me here, and Homeland Security, in this situation, trumps FBI. Of course, my general opinion of Homeland Security is that they are idiots, and this assessment comes from my experience with 2 agents. One on a task force I was on early in my career who was so stupid I thought he was pretending. Turns out he was not. The other on yet another task force was a jerk who thought a woman couldn't possibly know what she was doing, but he was happy to hit on me. He found out I hit too, with my fist. I enjoyed it too. Bottom line, 2 for 2 was all it took to convince me Homeland Security has a staff of stupid. But then, I'm unforgiving. I don't pretend otherwise. Stupid is what stupid does, which is piss me off. I motion to Murphy. This man was a director of the FBI. That makes the lead on this case the President of the United States. When he tells me to leave, I'll leave. His cell phone rings and his lips twist. Maybe that's the president now. Hate to break it to you, Larry, old boy, but it's more likely to be your mama or partner or wife, whatever you have, checking to see if you've been taking your vitamins than it is the president. Have you? Taken your vitamins? He scrunches his face up, and it's not a pretty sight. Aren't you funny? I am, thank you very much. If I'm honest, very few people really recognize that obvious fact. I'll remember that you do. He grimaces and answers the call. I reach in my field bag and pull out a pair of gloves before kneeling next to Murphy. Not only did you lie to me, now I have to catch your killer. But you know what they say, a dick in life, a dick in death. I pat him down, searching for his phone, and come up dry, which is strange. This was a professional hit, and a pro knows we'll just pull the records. But there could have been the hope there was sensitive information to retrieve. Or maybe there was a text message someone didn't want seen. Or there could have been more than one phone, a burner and his actual registered line. At this point, Larry has stepped out of the room. Considering I worked with Murphy, me getting kicked off the case is inevitable, which means I have too little time and too much to discover. Murphy needs to be a dead man talking. That means I need to read the scene he's left for me. I start with how long he's been dead, based on rigor mortis at least half a day. What he's wearing, a collared shirt and casual pants, which isn't work attire, but it's not sit-at-home-alone attire either. He was meeting someone or doing something. The question is who and what. I check his pants and find one of his business cards in his rear hard-to-reach pocket that an assassin in a rush might easily miss. There's a Nashville number scribbled in messy writing on the back. I know it's Nashville because I consulted on a case there a few years back, not long before Kane and I got back together. I grab my own phone and snap a photo of the number before I bag the evidence. For reasons I can't explain, my gut tells me to conceal that number. How very un-FBI of me. Or how very FBI of me, depending on who you ask. As of late, I'm not sure there is any government-run operation I consider untarnished or impenetrable by the society. I decide the card is going with me. I stuff it in my field bag, and just in time. That's when Larry returns. I push to my feet, noting his scrunched-up face has transformed into a bulldog face. I like me a cute bulldog. I like animals more than people, and Larry fits the lost puppy image to a T right now. What's wrong, Larry? Did Mom get really, really mad at you? He glares at me. I always heard you were a bitch. Well, it's interesting to know I'm talked about, and while I prefer to be known as witty and funny, bitch works too. I'm in charge of the crime scene, I assume, because he's as easy to read as a book with large print. He grits his teeth. You're in charge of the crime scene. Interesting, I think, of this unexpected twist, but I don't ask who told him to hand over the reins. It might have been Homeland Security, but I'm not sure why they know who I am. Okay, a drug cartel is a national security risk, so I do in fact know how they know me. Even if it was the president himself who put me in charge, I wouldn't care. I'm here because I want answers that only Murphy can give me, and since he's dead, that means convincing him to talk to me from the other side. He was too smart to leave anything important where it could be easily found, which means I'm not going to find answers here or at his homes in LA or Washington. From what I understand, he has all of the above. But I have to go through the motions. That's how good investigative work gets done. No one will search those places like me, but until I can get to both, I need to get people I trust to his homes, and now. That's when a realization slithers through me, and it's a snake with a lethal bite. I already know why Murphy's dead. Obviously, to anyone, he crossed the wrong person, but the odds that relates to the society are almost 100%. This was a professional hit. What if it's not the only one? What if the society, Poacher in particular, decided to get rid of anyone that's a threat to his power? In this scenario, Murphy wasn't their friend, he was ours. Is that possible? Maybe. Which leads me to anyone else who represents a threat to the society. Kane and me. I think of the chopper attack on Kane gone wrong, and I the bullet hole between Murphy's eyes. A professional wouldn't screw up. I grab my phone from my pocket. I don't care if Kane's handling cartel business. I need to talk to him now. Chapter 3. I'm about to dial Kane when I realize Larry is still standing a few feet away, staring at me. Can he not just go away? What's the ETA on the medical examiner? Should be here any minute. Who? Some new guy. Alexander Kingsbury. He sounds like trouble by design. I do a mental run-through of the different MEs I've worked with. My latest case was bloody, and Nguyen ran from the worst of it, which means he's out. The ME I worked with on the Umbrella Man case comes to mind. Danica Day, DD as I nicknamed her, is a model-turned-ME that I thought would suck. She did all right, though, and she's eager to get out from under the stripper name. That will make her brave. I'm going to need brave on this one. I want Danica Day and no one else. Make it happen. And don't let me find out Kingsbury got anywhere near Murphy, or you'll be the next body. Are you threatening me? At least you're not slow on the uptake. He bristles. That's uncalled for. He's such a chick. I bet you won't let Kingsbury get near the body. I motion to Murphy. He gets one shot to tell us who did this. Don't fuck it up for him. In fact, I motion behind him. I want everyone out until after Dee does her thing. I anticipate him being slow and add, yes, that's Danica, before I start over. After Danica does her thing, I'll let everyone else back in. That's highly out of the ordinary. I'm a special girl, Larry. Haven't you figured that out by now? I don't wait for an answer. Like I said, after Dee Dee is done, forensics can do their thing. They won't find anything, but they can try. That's insulting to the team. This was a professional hit, Larry. Professionals get paid the big bucks for a reason. They don't get caught. I need some time alone with my ex-boss. I raise my voice. Everyone out, now. It takes a full 5 minutes, but the room is clear of everyone but me and the dead body, and perhaps a recording device. I dial Kit, who stayed downstairs with Jay. He answers on the first ring. What the hell is happening? He asks. Everyone is antsy and won't say a damn word. Just come up. I tried. They're not letting me. Tell them I said I tried, Lilah. Damn it, I'll handle it. I disconnect and text him. Murphy's dead, execution style, a professional hit. Read between the lines. Warn Kane and I'll send someone down to get you and Jay. Fuck. Yes, got it. I walk to the door and open it. The tall, thin guy with the Homeland Security jacket is waiting on me. Agent, he greets. I need my men up here, and I've requested Danica Day as the ME. I don't want anyone but her and my men in the apartment until she's done her job. Understood, he says. If we trusted any of the locals, you wouldn't be here. Director Ellis will be pleased to know you've taken over. Yeah? Well, tell your director to go fuck himself, because this clandestine way of bringing me here and communicating through you feels off. Like a game. Usually, serial killers are the ones who play games with me. They end up dead. The color drains from his face. Good. He'll deliver the message just as intended. Who found the body? I ask. There was an anonymous tip called in. Apparently, the killer thought we were taking too long to find him. When the paramedics saw his badge, the chain of command quickly escalated. Where is his badge now? Bagged and protected. What else was bagged and protected? Because if we can't protect a director of the FBI, I have a hard time thinking we can protect his badge. Nothing that I know of. Why? That you know of. Those are the words of a fucked up investigation. Where's his service weapon? His lips pressed together. We couldn't locate it. Reports have been filed. Huh, I say, though this news doesn't surprise me. Any killer worth his weight in bullets would claim a weapon he could use later, in all kinds of useful ways. I wave him on. Go get my men. He gives a nod and heads down the hallway. Once I'm alone, I do what I never do when Kane's handling cartel business. I punch in his number. Of course he won't answer. I know he won't answer, because drug cartels aren't exactly all about happy wife, happy life. Though maybe if they were, they wouldn't get in so much fucking trouble. After a few rings, sure enough, I'm in voicemail. I don't leave a message. I text him. Murphy is dead. It's a professional hit. Watch your back. I stare at the screen, waiting for a reply that doesn't come. He went to Mexico to kill his uncle, who was in bed with Poacher. I'd say Miguel was behind Murphy's assassination, but as proven by his hit on my father, Miguel does nothing this tidy. Chapter 4. Murphy may or may not have been the only intended target of his killer. That reality is about as easy to swallow as a squishy brown banana, but it's nevertheless the food for thought I have to offer right now. I don't care who I scare or freak out. I'm going balls to the wall and preparing everyone for the worst. The next call I make is to Tic Tac, who reported to Murphy and who's done a whole lot of digging around on the society. Lilah, he greets, sounding all chipper about the call when I don't do chipper. It's like he doesn't even know me. Let me guess, he adds, you need stuff. I thought you'd at least take 24 hours after catching the last killer. Okay, he knows me a little. I do always need stuff. Where are you right now? Home. Why? Do you have a burner phone? I ask him, needing him off radar so he can't be tracked down and killed. Yes. Oh, shit. I do, because one day I knew you'd ask me that question. He knows me after all. Maybe he's crazy enough to enjoy the bullshit I bring him. I'm about to fix that for sure. Okay, good. Get it. Then call me back. Now. Move. My next phone call is to my cousin, who I foolishly allowed to join the hunt for the society in an official capacity. Lucas is now a part of Murphy's team, or was when Murphy had a team, which means he could be considered a liability. He could be on a kill list. He's hacked about everyone we suspect to be a society member. Lilah fucking love, he greets. Mendez, fuck. I need you to find Andrew and get him to a safe place, even if you have to drug that idiot and drag him there, I say of my brother. Take a burner phone, text me the number. I'll call you as soon as I can talk. Holy mother, he murmurs. Got it. He hangs up. One thing that can be said about my cousin is he knows trouble, and trouble knows him. When you know your enemy, you know how to evade and dodge. The problem we all have right now is we don't know our enemy, but we know he or she is a master of murder. But then, I think, so am I. That's a truth I might not love about myself, but I've never denied it either. I'm not going to start now. My phone buzzes with a number I don't know but assume to be Tic Tac. Assuming makes me stupid, and I hate stupid, so I answer with, "Who is this?" "Me, Lilah," Tic Tac says. "What is this?" "Murphy's dead." "What?" he gasps. "No," he adds, obviously in more shock than rejection. "How?" It was a professional hit job, and while some might assume the target was him and just him, I don't. It's bigger than that. I feel it in my bones. Like, those people big? Yes, that big, I say, because we never say society on the phone. What do I do? I need you to get in your car and drive until I get you help. I'll call you back, understand? Yes. I'm scared, Lilah. Good, you'll be smart then. Don't trust anyone, and I mean anyone, Tic Tac. Homeland Security came and got me. They don't seem to want the feds involved. You are the feds. We all know I'm a beast of my own name. Get moving. I disconnect and call the only person in LA I know to call. Rich, who is probably still in Europe, but I have to try. He knows Tic Tac. He likes him. He's Clark Kent all the way. Never dirty, never bad, which was half our problem as a couple, I suspect. But the bottom line, if he's not stateside, he may have someone he trusts, who I'll have to trust by default, which sucks, but it's where I'm at right now. I punch in his number, and he answers on the first ring. Lilah. Are you in Europe? I just got back to LA. Why? You finally come to your senses and want me over that gangster Mendez? I breathe out. Thank God. Well, that's not the reaction I expected. Oh, shit. That wasn't about me. What's going on? I can't explain much right now, but I trust you. Don't trust anyone else, okay? What is this, Lilah? Director Murphy's dead, I say. Holy shit. What the fuck? A professional hit. Homeland Security called me in to run the case. What the hell? Obviously his vocabulary shrunk while he was in Europe, or it was always smaller than I realized, but I pushed past his limitations. I've been working with Murphy to take down some very powerful, very dangerous people who've infiltrated our law enforcement. Don't trust anyone. Got it. What am I doing? Tic-Tac's been helping me, I say.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?